guest today needs little introduction. Lisa Curry, Olympian, mum of three, personal trainer, author, and co-founder of Happy Healthy You, a health and lifestyle community based here in Australia. Having had her own struggles with not so happy hormones, she spent some years seeking answers to mood changes which were wreaking havoc with her day-to-day life. Finally discovering the reasons for them, she set about ensuring all women had accessibility to products and community to help them work through their own hormonal and health challenges. Welcome to Pure Health Hub, Lisa.
Thank you, Lindy. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. It's a treat. Right. Now, you, driven by a purpose to assist others, especially women, you fearlessly share personal narratives. Understanding the significance of aiding others, you embarked on a journey with Happy Healthy You, crafting solutions for women during their transformative phase, drawing from your own experiences of hormonal variability. Now, despite being 50% of the population, there has been little investment in women's health research over the years, particularly for those of us in reaching or in midlife. So products such as Happy Healthy You have been life-changing for many. This is what I want to chat to you about today. And this is what the hub is about, is really being able to share what is out there and available for us to ease that transitional and transformative process time. All right, so take it back to the beginning. Tell us what led you to creating Happy Healthy You, and what were you going through, and how did you establish that your health challenges were hormone related? And God, how long did that diagnosis take?
Well, it took a long time and a hole in the wall and a divorce, pretty much, to help me make that diagnosis. So many years ago, I didn't put two and two together, and I didn't understand that my moody, irritable outbursts were hormone related. I didn't realize that it was happening every month. And so when I was married to Grant, probably every month we were having this huge Barney over pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
Where I was a moody old cow, and taking it out on the person that was closest to me. And, one day I slammed the doorknob put a hole in the wall. I was sitting there bawling my eyes out saying, no one understands, you don't love me. And the next day I was fine. And the day before that I was fine.
Yeah.
So it was usually the fifth day before a period where I would just turn into this this hormonal monster. But then the rest of the month I was fine. Right. So this went on for years, and it put a big strain on our marriage, to say the least. And then years later, it was very, very coincidental that I met these two guys. It was in an outrigger race. They were escorting us on an escort boat. And I was telling them how tired I was and how moody I was. And they said, oh, we should set you up with this guy. He's a naturopath and you can have a good chat to him. And that was Jeff Butterworth. And that was, many, many years ago, back in probably 1996 when I met him. So I went down to see him, and he had been treating women for hormonal issues for years and years. And he said, it really sounds hormonal to me. So there was another product that he had been developing at the time. And people may remember that, we called it 30 plus because it sounded like a sunscreen. So it was a terrible name. But it was for people over 30, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that started my journey of trying to understand what I was going through, what I was feeling, why I was feeling this way, and what could be done about it. Because I'm not, I very, very rarely take headache tablets. I hate taking antibiotics. I don't like chemicals going into my body. So I was really looking for something that was natural, or something that I could help fix myself. Yeah. And so with Jeff, a lot of it comes down to lifestyle as well. So your stress levels, what you eat. And over the years, I've been pretty good, but I'm not a great eater. I'm not someone who eats clean, vegan, sort of menu every single day, but I'm getting better, I must say, because I know that it makes a difference.
Yeah.
So there were all these things that were happening to me at once. And so from the start, Jeff and
Sorry,
I.
how old were you at this point?
Okay, so I would have been probably 45.
Right. Okay. Just so I get a timeline around it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
around about 40 to 45. So, you know, Jeff says that my hormonal imbalances, you know, it's an accumulation of things that have happened in your life, right? So being in the chlorine water, you know, 6 hours a day, having my 3 children, you know, pregnancy and giving birth, a stressful lifestyle where you're burning the candle at both ends and you're working and trying to be a mum and a wife and a businesswoman and keeping the house clean, all those sorts of things. So there's lots of things that add up to why someone is not feeling 100%, and it's different for every single woman. So, you know, our range of products are generic. They pretty much help everyone, but there are some people that they can't help, of course, because you know, people are very individual. But on the majority, you know, we have over 10,000 reviews. We have people who say, oh my gosh, you know, your product's changed my life, it's saved my life, saved my sanity, all this sort of thing. And interestingly, I had a tradie over this morning, and he asked me what I did, and I was explaining to him about the products. And he said, oh, I don't know about that natural stuff, you know, I don't reckon it works. And I said, yeah, you're one of the skeptics, that's okay. But I said, you don't understand that it works until it works for you.
Yeah.
So for the women that it's worked for, they just sing it from the rafters, you know, and I know that it's worked for me. I know that what Jeff has developed and formulated, and his knowledge, his experience and professionalism, you know, over the past 30, 40 years, it is really helping people. So, you know, thank goodness.
Oh, well, absolutely. Thank goodness. And I think, you know, I think there is a little bit of a disconnect in a sense that we do seem to expect that, well, if it's working for a lot, then it should work for me. And I think, you know, our health is just such an individual thing. We can't possibly be all things to all people, right, when we're developing these types of products. But I guess then, you know, that's when that sort of individual consultation comes into play, right? So they should go off and see a specialist or a naturopath in hormonal variability and things like that. But it sounds like it's been, you know, it has been life-changing. I was reading the reviews, and, you know, I've got friends who take it, and, you know, they can't rave about it enough. So the other thing, so that's how you met Jeff, really came about as a consultative patient sort of naturopath relationship, and then it went from there. So obviously someone who helped you.
So I guess fast forward around about 10 years now, we have over 500,000 women in our Facebook group pages. Excuse me. So they can come into the group and ask any question about their health and wellness. And not only will they get free naturopathic advice from our naturopaths and nutritionists who are online 7 days a week, and also Jeff, but they'll also get, you know, hundreds of replies from other ladies who've been through the same thing. So it's a really great group for people to belong to, because sometimes when you're going through these things, you feel like you're the only cow in the world. You know, why is my life so awful? What's going on? But you realize that everyone else is going through it too. So it's all a case of women talking to each other, helping each other. And some of our ladies who take our products and get amazing results, they're our biggest advocates, you know, and they sell the products for us. Yeah, absolutely. So in the early days, when we didn't have much of a following, you can say fortunately or unfortunately, I had to bare my soul, you know, and tell the world that I was a moody cow, to tell people that this thing that happens to us, it's not really us, it's our hormones going haywire. But it's not something that you really want to share with the world, because, you know, you want to be a nice person.
You know that 80% of women, well, let's say 60% of women listening to you and reading it going, oh, thank God she's a moody cow, because so am I. Right. So I think.
Well, we don't have to know it ourselves. Our husbands will tell us quick, smart.
exactly.
Or our kids.
Yeah, one or the other.
Because I know my son used to roll his eyes and he'd go, Mum, the girls are hormonal, and just walk out the room. But he knew. Because once we started doing this and the whole family can start to understand what it is, then they become more sympathetic. Can you imagine a father and a husband in a household where you've got a wife and, say, 4 daughters?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? And they're all going through their menstrual cycle at different times each month. I mean, it's no wonder they spend so much time at work, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. We're not going to give them an excuse, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, but some men, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to help their partners. No. And so this is another subject that we've talked about as well, is as a male, how can I support my partner and my daughters? Because if you say the right thing, it comes across wrong. If you say the wrong thing, it comes across as even more wrong. If you walk out, you're the worst person. Well, if you stay there and say you were, like, they can't win, poor guys.
No. Well, we know that. There's no way that they could possibly win. But, you know, and it is funny, you know, when I started Pure Health Hub, well, finally, sort of everything about not quite a year ago, the male pickup in the audience has been pretty good. I'm so surprised. We've got about sort of 15% male audience. And that really can only be about wanting to educate themselves.
Yes, yeah.
And particularly men in this age group, right?
Yes, yeah. So probably men can take all of our products, probably except 2. Oh,
really?
Yeah. So I've just had a friend who was telling me he was using his wife's products. It was our new magnesium product, MSP, and made it work, had a sore leg or something, and he said, oh yeah, I take collagen peptides. So he came home and he said to his wife, oh, my mate's leg's better, he's taking collagen peptides. And she said, what, like this? And held up our Happy Collagen. So he started taking her MSP and collagen, and he said within about 6 weeks his knee is not sore anymore. He said, look, I can squat. It's amazing.
Of course, I forget about these products like collagen and, you know, magnesium and things like that are totally unisex.
Yeah.
The collagen, that's a good point. Now, obviously, there's a lot of talk about the whole hormonal thing in perimenopause, you know, as we're going into perimenopause and then menopause. But what about postmenopause? Are we sort of thinking about that too? Or do we feel like we're, you know, is there anything there you're offering?
Well, because I'm probably the guinea pig over all these years, right? So as I'm going through my challenges, and, you know, I've just turned 61, and, you know, I have a defibrillator. I've had AF in the last 12 months. Right. I'm hobbling around with a sore hip. I've got like fragments of bone rolling around between my hip sockets. So that's next, I guess. But everything that I'm going through, I can say to Jeff, hey, you know, can we do a product for, you know, osteoarthritis, for example, or can we do a cardio product? So as we age, I'm sort of the guinea pig, but we certainly at the moment don't have anything specific for the like the 60 to 80 age group. I think if you get to 80, do what you like, smoke, drink.
Well, totally. Do whatever's going to make you comfortable, whatever.
No, I know, but it's so we're forever learning and growing and producing more products to meet the needs of what our women want. So when they talk about certain things in our groups, for example, all the ladies who are having such great results from Happy Hormones, and their teenage girls could take it as well, but we decided to formulate one particularly for teenage girls. So it's called Happy Period. But it also helps ladies that have really, really heavy periods to the point where they can't get out of bed, they can't go to work. How do you ring up your boss and say, I can't make it into work today, I've just flooded my bed. You know, they're like, la, 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 I don't want to hear it. You just stay home. So the Happy Period has really helped so many people with that. So we are listening to our customers and we are formulating products to fulfill those needs.
Well, I'm happy to be the guinea pig in that 58 plus age group.
Yes.
So just let me know.
What are your symptoms, Lindy?
Oh, look, everything's dry as a chip, right? Everything.
Right, get it. Yep.
And I think that's probably the worst, because I took HRT, admittedly. I mean, it's not for everybody, but it worked a treat for me.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I would have been sane and managed to get through to the other side if that was the case. If I didn't, I didn't. But now, of course, it's the creaks and the pain and the arthritis, and I mean, it's stuff you can't get away from.
Yeah. The MSP will help you with the arthritic sort of pain.
Really?
And also, we've got I've got it right. I don't know. Are we on film here or?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So whatever you say, you have to commit to.
Yeah, I know. But we've got
MSP.
Yeah. I actually haven't got it here, but this what we've got here.
Right.
It's a 4-week eating plan. And It's amazing. It's so beautiful. The meals are amazing. And when you're talking about, arthritic joints and that sort of thing, you've got to think, okay, what sort of diet am I? Am I more acidic or do I want to have more alkaline body?
Yeah.
So when you want to go more alkaline, of course, you've got to eat more greens, all your vegetables and your salads, cut down on your acidic food, processed
I'm pretty good at that, I have to say.
Yeah. And then we've got another one, which is called the Optimal Skin Guide.
Right.
These recipes are specifically for your skin. So what I do,
the snake skin.
Oh yeah, the leather handbag.
Yeah.
But I spent a lifetime in the sun.
Yeah.
I
and look at your skin, it's unreal.
It's not, well, it is. I've still got wrinkles. It's not too bad, but it's much better than it was. And even our skincare range, I said to Jeff one day, can we please do a skincare range, a really simple one?
Jeff's under the pump, isn't he?
He's under the pump, yeah. And so we investigated what we could get, and it's not high end. It's not cosmetics. We're in between the cosmeceuticals. So we've got active ingredients, and he added probiotics into it as well to help the skin microbiome. So it's a 4-step process. We've got a cleanser, exfoliator, a serum, and a day-night cream. And it's really
simple process, right? You just want something. You just don't want 5,000 things to put on your face.
No, it's too hard.
And you want to buy it. I mean, dollars.
Well, I know, but also if you buy something that's going to actually work, right?
Absolutely.
So a lot of products, they're a lot cheaper than ours, of course, but they sit on top of the skin. So you want products that actually penetrate the skin.
It has to. At our age, it has to get in.
Yeah. So when I have my afternoon drink, I have MSP, which is the magnesium, which is for sleep and pain and like soreness and stiffness. And I put my collagen in with it as well. And then I actually break open. I've got Happy Defense, which is my 1-a-day immunity tablet. So I break open the capsule and I put that in the drink as well. And I break open the Happy Liver and I put that in as well. So I'm having everything in one glass of water basically, and it actually tastes really good. The collagen, that's it there. It's amazing. It's
and really is that good. A marine collagen or a bovine or a vegan or?
One is bovine. Yeah. So it's full of it's got the collagen peptides, antioxidants, gut health, prebiotic, fiber, and probiotics. And tastes great. So
I must admit, I'm not taking collagen right now because I've found that not a lot of them, like I hadn't really noticed any difference. But probably a good idea to try. But so you just really make yourself up an afternoon, remedy, tonic cocktail, whatever you want to call it. And that keeps you going. And that skincare, well, obviously, you can see that you've got an incredibly healthy skin as well. And for someone who's been out in the sun all your life, a bit like me. So obviously it is working. Now, what I wanted to ask you about was, what are women, not complaining about, what are women kind of presenting with and going, do you know that? Like, have you, is there something or things in particular that we're sort of presenting with, needing help with?
Changes every now and again, but probably the top couple of things that women are concerned about is their pain and their weight and their weight.
Yeah, and the weight.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, well, for me personally, you know, coming out of COVID, I lost my daughter. So there's all that grief and trauma and just sadness, stagnation, didn't move, didn't exercise, ate poorly, menopause at the same time, an arthritic hip. My heart was doing funny things, and I'm thinking that's probably from all the stress.
That sounds like stress, right?
Yeah, so everything's hitting all at once. And then, of course, there's the weight gain. And the weight gain, what's it from? Is it from menopause? Is it because I didn't do anything for the last 3 years? So I just went and bought all new clothes. And a couple of times I've gone to start eating really well, and I do really well for about a week. And like most people, you know, you want quick results, but it's not quick results. So it's going to take time. But sometimes I think, you know what, I'm just going to surrender to this. And I'm just going to be good to myself. I'm going to eat as well as possible. I'm going to exercise when I can, do what I can, try and sleep better. And things should take care of themselves, because sometimes you want everything at once. So the other thing we do have is we have an online assessment. So we have
going to ask you about that, actually. I'll put a link to that at the end of this interview, because I haven't gone through it yet, but you know, it said, you know, that's a pretty neat thing for people to at least start to learn about their own health. Yes.
So the report that you get back from that has a ton of information in it. So all these different headings. So, for example, some people want to change their life, feel better, sleep better, lose some weight, but of course it doesn't happen all at once. But what you can do is, when you get this report, pick one thing and then just work on that until it's habit, until it feels easy, and then pick another thing. Because you can't do everything at once. You get this complete overwhelm, and then you throw in the towel because it's all too hard. Because you know, you've got to remember, people have a life. They're trying to earn a living, trying to pay the bills, trying to cook a dinner tonight for the family, look after the kids, you know, change a dirty nappy. You know, like there's a million things that people have to do.
True. But so I feel a little bit
simple.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel a little bit like you, in the sense that at this point in my life, I'm, you know, the weight sort of seems to go a bit like this, but I'm trying not to think about it too much. I just figure if I move every day, things should take care of themselves, whatever that is, Pilates, ride my bike, whatever. But, you know, I'm the same. I think we've just got to stop putting that pressure on ourselves, as long as we are, I guess, 80% of the time doing the right thing, right? And as you say, though, and I've spoken to a lot of nutritionists and dietitians, you know, and food is medicine, and we've got to not forget that. So to have, you know, little bits of, you know, whatever naughty things sometimes is okay, but ultimately I think if we're doing it 80% of the time, surely that's
for example, if I want to make some changes, which I've started to, you know, I was having 3 coffees a day. I'm probably having sometimes 1 or 2, but that's taken months to get down to there. If I want to cut down on my wine, for example, and I don't drink a lot, but sometimes I just have half a glass of wine and I fill it up with ice and some mineral water. So you're still drinking, but you're only having half, not a whole one. So it's making small changes like that over time will add up, but it won't make a difference in a day or a week. You know, so and then people, I know people they say, I'm going to go on a diet, and they have one Tim Tam, they go, oh, you know, stuff it, I might as well have the whole packet. But that one was fine. Like, don't worry about it. Have one, you know, but then they have the whole packet because they feel guilty about having the one. So this is another thing that ladies and men, you know, we've got to get away from feeling guilty about treating ourselves. You know,
totally agree.
So there's a lot in it, isn't there? Like every single day we're hearing about, you know, organizations or people or just lifestyle, people struggling, people doing well, whatever. It's, you know, life isn't easy for a lot of people.
Well, I don't think it's it, but for a lot of people,
Yeah. So if you just
struggle
think of the main, I reckon the main thing is for people, if they can just move, even if it's for 10 minutes a day,
yeah,
probably 30 minutes is probably a bit better.
yeah,
Move each day. Try and get your heart rate up though. Like
yeah.
just strolling to the end and back of the street where your heart rate doesn't go up doesn't really do much, but you breathing in some
It helps
fresh
the
air,
joints, but you've got to get
moving the joints.
Yeah.
But the other really big thing I think is try and make your meals as healthy as possible.
Mm.
Just try. Like think about what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning. Are you going to put a bowl of Cocoa Pops into your body, or are you going to put a banana smoothie with some nice yogurt or something?
Yeah. And it is, but food is such a psychological, emotional, and I think that's one of the big challenges. But I think as we get older and we start to, this is what the hub is about, trying to remind women that, you've got to start thinking yourself before you hit 60, right? We need to be thinking about where we're at and the stress we're putting ourselves under, and all that stress just going to build up inside and just cause a whole bunch of ailments that you really don't want to know about. So it is important to to get this message out so that women are treating themselves better, men too, but this is all about women at this point. And I love what you've done with Happy Healthy You. I love that you share so much about yourself, and I think that's why everybody does love you. Thanks so much for joining me today, Lisa. I sincerely appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome, and you can chat to us anytime. In fact, if you chat with Jeff, you'll have an amazing interview with Jeff. And we also have some amazing staff as well that can really talk through the science behind our natural products and why things happen the way they do. So
and that's critical. We need to know why these things, we don't know. We just get stuck with this stuff and it's happening to us, and it's like, God, get me out. But Talia contributed a lovely piece to the site last week, which was fantastic. So
Talia is fabulous. Yeah, she's really good. But, at the end of the day, I think when people hear something and they go, oh, that's why I need to do that, or that's why they have that light bulb moment, then it's so much easier for them to continue doing what they're doing or take something because they know what it's doing to their body.
Exactly. And that's
really, they know.
No, that's right. And that is the thing. I think we don't know. It's, because we don't know what we don't know, we just ignore it. So, whatever ailment it is, or whatever's driving us mad, or whatever's sending us a little loony, because we don't know. So I'm just loving seeing all this women's health coming out now, and paying tribute to both sides, right? It's medical's there for a reason, but it's natural that we need to be starting with. So, I totally agree with you. Thanks, Lisa. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks, Lindy.